Greetings, YouTube. The phrase Board of Education is not supposed to be ironic. Unfortunately, the Texas Board of Education is once again in the news, this time complaining that a proposed textbook for social studies has a pro-Islam slant, having more passages about Islam than Christianity. Well, I haven't read the document. It could actually have more passages in it that deal with Islam than Christianity. And quite frankly, I don't have a problem with that. The reason is simple. Texans, the children in Texas, are immersed in Christianity. They swim in it like fish in the sea. You don't need to have as many passages in a book on history about Christianity as you do on what is for many Americans and many Texans a foreign religion and a foreign culture, that of Islam. So if it has more sentences in that book about Islam to Muslims than it does about Christian and Christianity, I don't see a problem there. Now, this resolution that they actually want to pass is apparently pretty much an empty gesture. And that's okay. I don't see this having any major effect on anyone. And the socially conservative school board looks like some of the members may well get themselves elected out of office come this November in the latest round of elections, which would be a good thing, though there are some liberal progressive watchdogs in Texas that are keeping an eye on them and making sure that they try not to do too many egregious things to the Texas education system. But it would be nice, I think, if more Texan students had a grasp of what Islam is and what Muslims are, because there are Muslims in Texas. There are Muslims in America. Islam is part of our culture. Like it or not, that is reality. You can argue with it, you can complain about it if you want, but they're here, they're American, and they have every right to be part of a history book. Not to mention, our collective history, those of Americans, relates to our European past. Most people who call themselves American have some kind of link to Europe. Very few of us have pasts that have no European connection. I mean, I've got scads of European countries in my past. Germany, England, Wales, Austria. I think there might be just a smidge of Irish kicking around in there too, I'm not sure. But mostly German and Austrian. Lots of places where people dug for coal, because all of my family is from Pennsylvania coal country. So all of them came from Europe to dig the coal in the United States, and that's where I came from. So discussing a quote-unquote foreign belief will help Texan and American students to have a better understanding of their neighbors and the cultures that exist within the overall American structure, our society. So I see this as a good thing, including this kind of stuff into a textbook, and not something that you should get all riled up about, because you're not going to try to convert people, because guess what? That kind of thing in the United States isn't allowed. Schools are not allowed to endorse religions. Remember that First Amendment thing? Yeah, keep that in mind, folks. So I would like to see this board of directors quietly fade into that good night. I'm hoping that they get elected away sometime in the near future. I'm also going to provide a link to a to a site called the Common Standards, which is trying to put forth a standardized curriculum or curricula for our American students, try to making sure that they are prepared for their future in the world of either academia in college or their careers in as adults in the real world. So hopefully they'll get some traction both in Texas and in America at large. It would be really nice if we had a curriculum. Is it curriculum or curricula? I can never remember. That reflected a healthy, positive, broad view of the world, including our cultural heritage from Europe, our heritage here in America, and the entire plethora of religions that make up American society. So this board of directors needs to, the board of education needs just to step back, relax, and realize that this textbook is not going to be the end of the world.